What's fatherhood been like for you?
Fatherhood's the greatest journey I've ever been on, ever, bar none. You look at phases of your life. I was in college for these years. I was doing this, Superman for these years. But I can't imagine my life without that kid in it. My son, Christopher, he came in, and I was a single father, so I raised him. I shared custody with his mom until he was 9, and then I had full custody from there on. And he is just my favorite person. It's the most trying, most testing thing you've ever done. I had to learn so many things. He taught me so many things along the way, patience, and he's just a very different guy than me. He hates team sports. He never liked team sports. I loved team sports. Individual sports were harder, but I wrestled, so I was wrestling with him a lot as a kid, and he was very good at that. He didn't like football. He didn't like the big hits and things like that, which I loved. So I said, why don't you get into jiu-jitsu? And he trained jiu-jitsu with some Brazilian jiu-jitsu artists, and he was phenomenal, and he was very good at it. But I just didn't know if he ever had that lion's heart, and he was scared to compete. He was very much of an introvert, loved his video games. So I tried to teach him everything I could, and then I knew we were going to go down to San Diego and have a tournament. And he was 16 at the time, I think, and he was going in there to fight guys who were 35, men's strength, not kid strength. And he did 2 different divisions, so he ended up having 5 or 6 fights that day, and he had never fought in a tournament before. And I just didn't know how he was going to react. And he was so tired in between. I had him back in my truck, like rubbing his legs out, trying to get his calves going, his hands, things, feed him. So he was just laying there asleep. He took a nap a few times. And then he finally gets in the final match. And unfortunately, the coaches weren't able to go down there. So I had to coach him, and I don't know how to coach jiu-jitsu. Sorry, buddy. And so I'm trying to yell things to him, but he was getting stacked up, and I thought, this kid is just done. He has no more. He can't even go. He kept going. And then he likes to fight from his back. He jumps guard and does a lot of crazy things with his legs. And then all of a sudden, he locked it in.
He did it. That's so beautiful.
It kills me because I knew at that moment, he had that lion's heart,
Yeah.
and,
it's in there. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Sports get me. I'm a big baby for sports.
Yeah.
And because what it takes physically and mentally to get to a place like that and then overcome it is incredible.